Snow on the ground.
Huh?
There could be a foot of snow on the ground.
I'm totally over winter, but
Too.
I'm over winter before winter ever starts.
Right.
Well, it is noon. We are going to start this special Tuesday noon meeting. Really not special, I guess, other than that it's a special day, but special time for us as we get ready for all of our wild festivities tonight. So let's start with joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our first item of business today is consider the minutes of the February 8th, 2022 meeting.
I so move we approve.
I second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, stand by, sorry. We're all muting our phones.
Okay, there was a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right, maybe the most exciting one on our agenda today is to consider a proclamation declaring 2022 a year of celebration for the city of Newton's 150th anniversary. And I have that proclamation I will read. Whereas the fertile prairie was once home to indigenous people such as the Pawnee and the Wichita, who built their communities here in villages of grass houses, and whereas in 1870, this spot on the banks of Sand Creek was scouted to be the terminus of the Chisholm Trail, establishing the Wild West Cowtown of Newton, named after the city in Massachusetts, where many Santa Fe Railroad stockholders lived, and whereas on February 22nd of 1872, Newton was incorporated as a city by the state of Kansas, and whereas throughout the past 150 years, generations of Newtonians, from the Mennonite immigrants who brought Turkey red wheat to Mexican immigrants who came to build the railroad, from aircraft workers to pioneers in healthcare, business people, artists, educators, and innovators have helped to shape our unique and rich community culture. And whereas community partners in 2022 have come together to plan celebrations, educational programs, and festivals in honor of Newton's 150th anniversary year, and all that lies ahead for our community. Now, therefore, I, Clint McBroom, Mayor of the City of Newton, Kansas, do hereby proclaim 2022 as a year of celebration in the City of Newton, Kansas. All right, that is our proclamation. We'll need a motion and a second.
I move that we accept that proclamation.
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those, is there any discussion?
It should have been last year.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, thank you. Now we're going to take just a brief pause. Photos and signing, I guess.
Dun, dun, dun.
Does my hair look okay? Make sure I look good. Yeah. Okay. All right. And item number 3 today is consider a special event proposal for the Newton 150th Summer Bash, and Erin's going to take this one.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. I'm presenting today on behalf of the Community Sesquicentennial Planning Committee, which has put together this proposal for you today. As we just said, our city's 150th anniversary is today on February 22nd. And recognizing that sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate very well in February in Kansas, we decided to have a smaller indoor event in February and to plan our larger scale community event in the summer. So we have planned out what we're calling the Newton 150 Summer Bash to happen on the first Saturday of June, that's June 4th. And the committee put together this proposal that was based loosely on the street dances that used to happen in coordination with the Chisholm Trail Festival. Newtonians my age and older remember fondly the Chisholm Trail Festival and the street dances that we used to have downtown. And it was also inspired by a photo that was, we think, around 1910, of a Ferris wheel on Main Street that was there during some kind of community festival, and you can see that picture up on the screen. So what we have proposed is an event that would be free for the public to come to, that would be accessible to everybody, that would have something that would appeal to various ages and community members. We would have a street dance with live music from the Astronauts, which is a Wichita-based 80s dance band, which should be really fun, plus some kind of local opening act band. We would have food trucks, bounce houses for kids, and probably some other kids' activities, and we would bring in a Ferris wheel. This would be, like I said, free to the public to get in with an additional charge for any food purchases and a small fee to ride the Ferris wheel. We are presenting this to you tonight for your approval. The estimated cost of this event is expected to be about $25,000. We have about half of that to be paid for by our community sponsors. They include AGCO, Bethel College, BNSF Railway, Bunting, Interest Bank, Kane Painting, NMC Health, Prairie View, Rotary Club of Newton, and Union State Bank. We'll also be talking to some additional community sponsors in the coming weeks, hopefully to get some more of that public-private partnership to pay for the event. We know that, as with any outdoor event that is planned in Kansas, that inclement weather could be an issue. A thunderstorm in early summer is not uncommon. That obviously would impact our event, as well as high winds could be an issue for the Ferris wheel and for the bounce houses. So just for full transparency, we want to be aware that this is an outdoor event, and that's always something that we have to consider. So we would just ask for your approval tonight to move forward with the event as planned, or to direct us to make any kind of changes that you might anticipate that we should make.
I would move that we approve the proposal as presented.
I second that.
All right, there's a motion and a second to approve this event. Any further discussion? All right, well, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
The rest of our business today is just city business, so we don't get any more fun Ferris wheels and parties. So, item number 4 on our agenda is to consider a request to remove the 2-hour parking signs in front of New Jerusalem Missions at 209 East Broadway. Denise or Suzanne?
You want to take it?
I don't care, go ahead.
Okay. So in your packet, you have a request from New Jerusalem Missions to remove the 2-hour loading parking that is in front of their business. And has been the practice in years past is that anyone that is wanting to request like removal of signs or parking signs or anything like that has to get permission from all the property owners. And so they have received the permission from Hutchinson Community College. And because the city owns the property across the street, which would be affected by this as well, they need to get our approval, or you can deny it. If you deny, then the request doesn't get passed. So, questions?
So is this for that entire block?
This
not
is for
just
that
the
entire block just in front of New Jerusalem. There, if you go, but there's these 2-hour loading signs.
Yeah, just in front of New Jerusalem's building.
Correct.
Yeah, on the south side of Broadway,
Okay.
right in front of New Jerusalem. Nothing that's in front of
Hutch Community
Hutch Community
College.
So you have like the entrance to the old hospital
Correct.
to the corner,
Yes.
heading
To the
east?
To the east, yes. Yes. Sorry, I have to get the right directions.
Right.
Any negative impact
Right.
by doing this from the chief or?
No, I don't think so. I think you might be competing with the students that may be going to the school, but I don't know that it's going to affect anything that we would have.
The other side of the street, the north side, is already not signed with parking. And if you would approve this, this will come back at another meeting where we would have to do that by ordinance.
Okay.
Well, I would move we approve it and direct the staff to come back with the ordinance.
I second.
All right, there's a motion and a second to approve this. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item number 5 is to consider a purchase and sell agreement with CD Custom. Chris?
Cool, and I can lead on this. Zach's here, and also Beth. This is a sale of real property located in the industrial park. It's 4 lots of property totaling 9.24 acres at $5,000 per acre for a total price of $46,200. The PSA that, was late to your packet includes a reversionary clause whereby they would need to construct a facility no less than 40,000 square feet, subject to a permit pulled prior to January 15th of 2025. I understand it's been agreed to, actually signed. We have a signed copy from the purchaser, but this is the first time you've seen this version of the agreement, so obviously no obligation to approve it today. If you have any questions, concerns, or direction on it, especially with you getting it late, and that's on me. We would stand for any questions you have about this, but it is a sale that moves property back on the tax rolls, and it does have a performance metric whereby we would expect construction, or we would purchase, at least have the right to purchase it back. I don't know if Beth or Zach want to add anything about the agreement, or if you guys have any questions.
I would just add that there's approximately $18,000 a year on specials that we pay on this property currently. So everything in the Newton Industrial Park has special assessments to each lot. So we'll be having that savings with it being back on the tax rolls.
So what's the adjacency to their existing properties? There wasn't a map, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give you my copy.
Yeah. Across the street to the south is the interest,
Data center?
yeah.
Down here would be their existing building, so the idea is once they would build new, then these buildings would become available inventory.
Okay, so they're going into that open space. At 9th and Industrial? Okay.
I would just add that they came here in 2015. They have about 45 employees. Their expansion, they would add about 18 to 20 employees. A great company. They offer full benefit package to their employees, and they continue to make investments in our community. So.
Okay.
And what are their plans to keep their existing facility or to sell?
No, they've purchased so that when they came here, they had the one building, and now they've purchased 2 additional buildings, and it was really just they're growing too fast, and so where they're at right now, it's not ideal at all. Like the flow of the business doesn't really work. So they want to build a new facility that would have everything under one roof for them, and then the new buildings or the buildings that they had would then be for sale or lease by them.
Okay.
So.
Well, I would move that we approve the PSA as presented.
Second.
Okay. There's a motion and a second to approve the purchase and sell agreement with CD Custom. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, thank you. Item number 6 is to consider an amendment to the purchase and sell agreement with Slugito LLC. And Chris, you're going to take this one as well.
Yeah, and this is a quick one. I could have put this on the consent agenda, but essentially this goes back to the PSA that you guys approved with Slogido for the sale of property across from the airport. The purchaser wants to hold the property in a separate LLC, which they control. So the title company just wants this amendment to change the PSA in terms of the name of the seller. All the other terms remain the same. It doesn't impact the city in a negative way at all. We would endorse approval of the amendment in your packet.
Okay.
Stand for any questions on that, but more of just a procedural hurdle.
I actually think Bumblebee is a little more interesting than Slogido.
Their names are good.
Any discussion on that? If not, we need a motion.
I move that we approve that amendment.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. Is there a second for that?
Second.
All right, there is a motion and a second to make the amendment. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. And item number 7, consider a resolution establishing a residential housing and improvement district at 713 North Main. Rebecca.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. So I seem to be bringing you a lot of RHIDs lately. As you know, they are our tool of choice for increasing our housing stock in rural areas, promoted by the Rural Prosperity Plan, our own strategic plan, and our housing study. This one that I get to bring to you today is a little bit more exciting because we haven't done one like this. This is to renovate the second story of Mr. Jance's property at 713 to be residential. As you might remember, in last summer, Senate Bill 90 expanded the uses of RHID from your basic infrastructure to be able to do those reconstructive costs on these costlier buildings. I know he's looking towards federal and state tax credits as well, and is working with the Historic Preservation Commission for the design work. Like our other RHIDs, this is again the first step in this one's process, and it'll be further on, but this is just for us to submit to the Department of Commerce and begin the journey. Any questions?
Do we know how many units they're projecting?
1 to 2, depending on how the layout goes.
All right, thank you. Any discussion on that? If not, we'll need a motion to approve that.
If you'd like a resolution number,
Yes,
that would be G-1274.
I move we approve resolution number G-1274.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item number 8, the Sand Creek 4th edition. Suzanne, you're going to have this, but the first item is to consider petitions for water, sewer, and paving to serve Sand Creek Station 4th edition.
Yes, Commissioners, in your packet, you received petitions for improvements to Sand Creek Station 4th Edition, which is the tail end or the north end of the first cul-de-sac when you enter Sand Creek Station. And you would make an immediate right going to the north there. They redid the plat and moved some lot lines just to make additional lots at this location. And these petitions then would support finishing out all of the remaining lots on that cul-de-sac and connecting Bobtail to KC Circle, which was the last piece of the paving. So paving KC Drive and then Bobtailed connection to the remainder of the area, which allows for better traffic flow through the area and good access for emergency services should it be needed. The petitions that you have before you, water and sewer would be 100% paid by the benefit districts, and then the paving, 6.87% of that is paid by the city. They're balanced by the benefit district. It's just the intersection of Bobtail and Casey's, I think it's Casey Drive, isn't it?
Yeah.
The intersection of those two is paid by the city. That has been our policy. And so if you, as you receive these petitions, the next step then is to consider the engineering agreement. The developer, the Nattiers have selected Baughman Company as their engineering consultant, and we have that agreement here in the packet as well for you to consider for approval. Then they'll begin developing the construction drawings for the water, the sewer, and the streets. And then we'll bring back to you all of the funding piece of this as far as funding resolutions that we move forward with, and then plans and specifications as they're ready. And then we would put the project out to bid, remembering that everything except for 6.87% of the street is paid by the benefit district directly, not by the city at large.
One or two motions?
Two motions.
Two motions.
First thing we'll need a motion for is to just to consider the petition to accept it, correct?
Just receive it, yeah.
Okay. I move that we receive the petitions that have been presented.
I'll second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next item is to consider the engineering agreement with Baughman Company.
I would move we approve the engineering agreement.
One second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second on that. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, now, item number 9, a planning commission item. The first one is to consider the recommendation of the planning commission on application for a zoning district amendment for property located on US 50 from the current C2 to an R1. Suzanne?
Yes, Commissioners. At an earlier Planning Commission meeting here, not that long ago, I believe, the Planning Commission approved the application for this zoning change, and it is changing over from a C2 to an R1 district. The Planning Commission approved it unanimously. You can see on the screen, it's the area with the green dot. There is a large lot there. That's the one Kelly's showing you there. And that is the lot that is the property owner is requesting to have a zoning change to an R1. And staff is in agreement that this would be appropriate, and so we would ask for your approval. And Planning Commission, of course, is recommending the same.
Just that parcel or all that was highlighted the same color?
No, it's just that parcel, if I
Okay.
recall.
Because Jim's has, his
Right,
dealership is there.
it's just
That's
that
not-
parcel
so it's
with
just
the
that parcel.
green dot on it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
See if I got a different map here. Yeah.
Correct, sir. And the remaining parcels would still be C2 commercial.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it.
Do you know, I mean, is that standard procedure that just that one parcel and not to include any others, and it's just on a case-by-case basis per request? Is that the way that's usually handled?
Yes, and especially when it is bordering, if it's a border area. You know, if there was one lot in the middle of the yellow lots area that you see there in Lazy Creek Edition, and somebody came in and said, hey, I really want this to be C2 and it's currently R1 and it's surrounded by it, then it wouldn't be something that would be considered favorable by staff or the Planning Commission. In this instance, you've got a property that is abutting US 50. Typically, it's much more difficult to go the other direction to change something to an R1 in this instance because you'd be adjacent to the interstate, but the property owner is requesting it, and because it does abut some other R1 areas, we would see no problem with doing that.
So is that an easement? Would that leave an easement between the two of them? What's going on with
No.
that sliver?
Yeah, the sliver is owned by a different property owner.
Yeah. Cool. So you just need a motion?
Yes.
Well, I would make that motion.
I would second that.
Okay, so this is a motion for item number A for the recommendation. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, and item B on that is to consider an ordinance amending the zoning from a C2 to an R1, so we'll need an ordinance number.
That number would be 5068-22.
I move we approve ordinance number 5068-22.
A second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, thank you. That brings
Thank
us
you.
to the end, yeah. Donna, I don't think was there anybody on there? Okay, there is not, so this is our time to go around. So Commissioner Valentine, we'll start with you.
You were. Well, first of all, thank you to all of those who were a part of this planning process for our 150th birthday. What a marvelous thing, and I hope that in spite of the weather, it's a fun time and it's pleasing and it's a reward to all the efforts given. Thank you to our staff for all of the things that you do that enable this commission to make the decisions that they need to do. We can't do that without you and your expertise. And then thank you too for our first responders. I know you continue to remain busy, and I'm thank you for all that you do for this community, how you keep it safe at night so that we can rest nicely. Thank you.
All right, Vice Mayor Kane.
I am looking forward to the festivities at the Meridian Center. That's it.
Okay, Commissioner Sinnott.
Happy birthday, Newton. Let's see you there this afternoon.
Will you sing happy birthday?
I think we
You don't want
should.
that.
We'll do it before the end of the meeting, Kathy. How's that?
Well, I think that's a good idea. I thought about that this morning, wondered, maybe we should sing happy birthday to this community.
I don't second that.
Commissioner, you ready?
I just wanted to hear you say my name.
Commissioner
Anyway,
Croy.
I just wanted to acknowledge, there's been a lot of hard work put into the Main Street Kansas program. Zach and Rebecca and city staff put a lot of time in. The Main Street Kansas program has an average return of, what, $36 for every dollar invested? Something like it. So it's really a benefit by getting selected into this program. So thank you for going through the process and getting us in line. Hopefully we'll be selected in that process. And other people on the committee were also Pam Stevens, Angie Tatro, and Cassie Powell. So I wanted to thank them for participating, and we look forward to being a Main Street, Kansas community.
Thank you. Kelly?
As you all mentioned, today is a very momentous day in our community. It is our 150th birthday, and I posted on my few social media pages that I do have, I said 150 looks good on you, Newton. So, to several of the commissioners' comments, there will be festivities starting at 4:00 p.m. with a formal kickoff by the mayor at 4:30 p.m. At Meridian Center. There'll be some refreshments and some entertainment until 7 or 7:30 tonight. So it's a come and go event. Hopefully everyone will join us. We look forward to seeing you all.
Yes. Chris?
No, sir.
Okay. Suzanne?
No, sir.
Donna? Me either. Okay. Maybe we save our happy birthday singing for tonight. How's that?
Well, see, then you can lead us off, since you're
I'll
going
lead
to have
us,
the
I'll lead us
comments by the
tonight.
mayor.
We'll do it tonight.
You can lead it.
We'll do it tonight. How's that? So I don't have anything other than just to say with recent snowstorms, just thank you for everybody that worked so hard for that. Snow days are a lot different when you're a teacher. So I have to admit that I've kind of enjoyed them, but I recognize it's a lot of extra work for a lot of people as well. So hopefully this week we're spared of any major events the end of this week. There's something about Thursdays this winter. So every other Thursday, that's right. Yeah. So, all right. Well, with nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.